Again, welcome from my side for everybody, and thanks for joining our session for today. This is Khaled Musal here. I'm the solution owner of RISE with SAP. It will be my pleasure today to share with you all the latest and greatest around RISE with SAP. Before we start, I really encourage all of you to spread our hashtag for the event. And also, as Gaurav said, I encourage you, if you have any questions through my presentation, please put it in the Q&A functionality. Kay and myself at the end of the session, we will go through these questions and we will address also, even if you have a question you want to discuss it in interactively. So our topics for today, I'm going to share with you some updates about RISE with SAP, and Kay is going to cover the part about application lifecycle management for RISE with SAP, and then we'll end up with some Q&A and interactive discussion, hopefully. Before I go into the topic, I would like to start with a little of a warm-up, and hopefully that's not a surprise for you. The first part of the presentation, I ask you a question. So the question is, have you heard about RISE with SAP? Please go to menti.com, use the code that you see it here, and please put your answer for that question. Thanks for answering the question. And yeah, let me go back to my presentation. First of all, it's very good that you guys are aware about RISE with SAP. It's important because I'm going into more details about RISE, and hopefully by the end of the session, you will get to know more in depth about what is RISE and why it's important. But to start by setting the scene here, I would say why SAP introduced RISE with SAP. If we look today to economy or businesses all over the globe, they are facing actually a set of, I would call it, drivers for transformation or a need to change. And those come from the different dimensions of changes that business facing today. Regardless of your industry, regardless of your line of business, you come across changes in the economy, environmental changes, technology disruptions that we are all facing, not only on a business level, but even on our personal life, and the new lives that we are all living due to the pandemic situation. And finally, being in a global world today, you have a competitiveness actually type of business where you get a competition, not only from the local players where you are, but actually you could get a competitive relationship with maybe other supplier, other vendors, maybe somewhere in the world. Those are the reasons why businesses has to transform and has to be ahead of the curve to make sure not only that to grow, but to protect your market share and market position. And while talking to many leaders today and asking them, okay, you would like to transform as a business for what? Or simply how you measure the success of transforming your business. And the answer here is pretty much simple in such 3 points. Number one, if I want to transform my business, I wanted to accelerate my business outcome. I wanted to have maybe more revenue streams. So simply, I wanted to grow with my top line. Second, I wanted to be efficient on the way how I perform my business. I wanted to have the cost effectiveness type of business processes. And that's indeed going to help you to optimize the bottom line of my business. And last but not least, I wanted to be ahead of competition. And to do that, I wanted to adopt some competitiveness type of offerings or to have a differentiators in my side and adapt to the sustainability rules, running my business, following what we call it the green line type of business. That will be the new standards that I want to adapt to my business. So those are the 3 key goals that businesses are trying to achieve through the business transformation journey that they would like to go for. So how to do that? To achieve these business goals or business objectives, SAP worked hard in the past like 5 years to translate this to what is needed to be done from an application perspective. And we come out with what I call it a vision or a strategy that if Mr. Customer, you move to be an intelligent enterprise, following our best of breed type of laying the foundation for your digital core using our intelligent suite, adopt our latest industry cloud type of offering, having business process intelligence for better insights on top, business network to collaborate with the different stakeholders in your business, and all of that run on top of business technology platform as a platform where you can extend the value from our offering and even integrate with others. And all of that runs on top either on our infrastructure or any one of hyperscaler infrastructure. We define this as a to-be scenario, or as the destinations that we would like our customer to be there to achieve the goal of top level, bottom line sustainability. Those are the business goals that business wants to achieve, while intelligent enterprise is the corresponding or the equal one from a technology and from applications perspective. But the questions that you could ask yourself, fine, I know the destination, I want to be there, but today in my current status, maybe I'm still an on-premise customer. Maybe I'm running some ECC or S/4HANA on-premise. How to reach there? It's good to know the destination for sure, but definitely I need some guidance how to reach there. And for that reason, SAP introduced Rise with SAP. Rise with SAP, you can call it, it is a recipe for success. It's a way that we give it through our expertise, our guidance to our customer, helping them to transform from whatever starting point that they are today. You could be running our ECC system, even the old R3 system, S/4HANA on-premise, or even you could be a new customer for us. Going through the journey, achieving your ultimate business goals that I mentioned, Rise is the way how to do that. It is a solution provided by SAP, where we bring for you all required products, tools, expertise together in a way that you can use it to kickstart the journey to be an intelligent enterprise, starting by laying the foundation in the cloud and having your application platforms there. So that's Rise with SAP. And we have actually designed it in a way that, since we do understand completely, moving from where you are today to be an intelligent enterprise is not just one step. It is a journey where if you are an existing customer, you need to convert your existing system, you need to have a technical migration for the system, and then you need to modernize your application platform, adapt to the latest practices for industries or line of business. So it is a journey. And with Rise with SAP, we give you the right components, products that help you to draw this journey and to be successful in each step on that journey to be an intelligent enterprise. That's fine. That's nice to see this journey, but let's see how this is translated into each and every specific product included in Rise. As part of Rise, you will get a business process discovery, insight, Signavio process manager. And those are the right tools that you need them in stage one to have an in-depth understanding of how your current business processes works. This is the first and most important step, because based on that, you can put the right plan, you can define what is needed next, you can have the right understanding of your current business process, identify the gaps, and work on these gaps in your transformation journey. The second part of Rise is SAP readiness check. Yes, I would like to put a plan for myself. I am in the on-premise world. I have my current system. I have some add-ons installed on my system. I have some customizations I have done there, and a lot of many things that I need to look for it and understand clearly my current position before I take the next step. With SAP readiness check, we give you all of this measured in a simple dashboard. That would be a brilliant input for you to put the right plan to transform your business. Third step. Usually, most of our customers in the on-premise world, they have enjoyed customizing the application. You have done a lot of customization in different aspects. And actually, if you look to the truth, not all of them are being used, or not all of them actually used by the same percent. And during the journey, when you are moving from your old house to a new house, we advise you to validate, do I need every item I'm carrying it with me? And that's pretty much what we need to achieve here. With Custom Code Migration app, we help you to evaluate all customizations done and make the right decision. Do I have a corresponding standard functionality I can leverage, or do I need to move ahead with that customization to the new world that I'm moving to? So Custom Code Migration app would help you to do that. Fine, I am ready now with my plan. I make the right decisions to put everything on track. Then the first step is to start building my application platform. And the first piece of that is the digital core, is S/4HANA Cloud, where S/4HANA Cloud will bring for you all the key functionality that you need it in your enterprise, in your industry. And we give you this with two flavors, if I would put it this way. If you would like to have a complete SaaS offering, then you go for S/4HANA Cloud, which is a public cloud offering. If you'd like to have more control, more ability to still maybe build your own processes, customize it more in depth, then you have the private cloud edition. So these two flavors are part of the S/4HANA that we added part of RISE. Then next, we give you credit for business technology platform, which is really free credit. So you get a free credit part of your RISE that allows you to subscribe to any of the existing developed cloud services and apps, either by SAP or partners on business technology platform. So we extend the value that you have it in your application platform beyond what S/4HANA offer you. So you can adopt many of such a cloud application and services. Then this is the time for the business network. We are running in a network economy. You cannot anymore now in business have your own standalone isolated application. That's become almost impossible, because in business, you need to collaborate with your supplier, with your vendors, the manufacturer of your equipment, and many others. For that reason, we introduce 3 business network part of RISE. You will get access to Ariba Business Network to collaborate with your suppliers, Asset Intelligence Network to collaborate with your manufacturer of the asset maintenance agency, the asset operation. And then you have Logistics Business Network, where you can collaborate with your carriers, with your freight forwarders to ship your products to your customers. So we have now the platform. I want to access all of these applications. Do I have a simple entry point to access all of this application? The answer is yes. We included with RISE Launchpad service or mobile start app, which is pretty much your single entry point to all the applications that you have it in your organization. Guess what? It's not only limited to SAP products, but you can also access from the Launchpad service non-SAP products or third-party products that you can have. So you have a single entry point to access all the applications in your network. Then, if I'm transforming my business, if I am putting a new platform, then I need to educate my people. There is no transformation without people comes in the center. So with our learning adoption solution around SAP Enable now, we help you with a lot of content that can be used to educate your people, to transfer the knowledge to them, knowing all of these new products and applications on top of that. And then all of that runs on top of infrastructure and operations of your choice. You can run all of this setup either in SAP data center or on top of 4 hyperscalers data center that SAP also offering it for you. And the good news that with all of this offering, including the infrastructure, you will have only one contract, one accountable company to deal with, which is an SAP. To manage all of this, you need the brain, and the brain comes with how to connect the dots back and continuously improve your business process. This is not one step, but we advise you that throughout the journey, and even after you start up running and using the products, you need to look to the business process and make sure that you always ahead to where I can improve. I get some recommendation from the system and how can I adapt this. And at the end of the day, with SAP Cloud Application Lifecycle Management, you have the brain that help you to streamline not only your implementation, but also throughout the operation and the full utilization of the systems, SAP Cloud Application Lifecycle Management, which is pretty much included in RISE offering, help you to be successful throughout the different phases of your journey. So that's pretty much what you get when you go for RISE. It's a comprehensive set, as I call it always. It's a recipe for success where you have the right tools, applications, sit there for a purpose, helping you to transform your business. Let's go through a practical example. And I actually tried to bring an example where, regardless of the business, this is something, if you ask maybe 100 customers, I wouldn't be surprised if like 95 or maybe 98 even of those customers will say, yes, I wanted to transform this. I want to have a better cash position. Because once you have a better cash position, you can introduce new line of business. You can offer maybe a different work model, or you can do more with your business, you can grow with your business. So it's a pretty much expected, I would call it, transformational driver that many customers would love to have. So let's see how Rise with SAP and products included will help customers, will help businesses to improve their cash position. So I tried to put here some sort of a journey, and the journey started with, I need to get first some insights about how my current business runs, why my cash position is not the best. And system will help you with some sort of KPIs that go deep into my data and analyze it for me, showing me, yes, you have some sales billing documents created, you cleared this, you start receiving the money from your customer, but listen, you have some gaps here. It takes you 22 days from the day you complete the activity until the invoice generated. And it takes you 33 days even to get this invoice settled and paid by the customer. Then it means I have an area here that I need to improve. The second step, with the process insights, which is part of Rise, you will get some measures. And these measures telling me, for example, see, you have more than 24% of your sales billing documents created manually. And actually it takes you time because you need to do that manually. So definitely from the time where the activity is completed, maybe you forget to do it today, tomorrow, then you have always a delay. So 24%, which is actually 1/4 of the volume of your sales billing happening manually. And that's actually definitely one of the key reasons behind why you are late billing your customers. Then the third step, I go to the system, okay, can you, Mr. System, help me to know what functionality I could adopt to help me in this regard? And the system will give you some proposals in terms of the functionality on S4 platform. So by adopting sales billing and implement all the functionality, including the automatic sales invoices generation and all of that, would be maybe a proposal for you to improve this position. So then I would like to look to my business process, how to model it. And now having Signavio part of this process, you can look to the business process and you can even model it against the best practices and see where is the bottleneck on my business process. Do I need to automate something? Do I need to change anything on my process? And then as a next step, I would like to get not just insights, but I wanted to get deeper insight and tailor the recommendation as per my current business process. So the system said to me, listen, you have 2 areas. If you work on these 2 areas, definitely you will have some improvement. One of them is maybe to schedule some automated sales billing type of functionality. Another one is actually you have all the invoices that can be cleared out. If you cleared all of them in one shot, maybe you have an accelerated cash to come to your organization. Then, wow, I have some recommendation. I would like to achieve this. Then to achieve this, I can go to the last step where system will give you even stepwise what you need to achieve to implement this functional on top of Rise with SAP. So with the tools, with the products included in Rise and the recommended action provided by the system, I know now what I need to consider in my business process. This is just a simple example that show you how a simple process like this can be improved, can be simplified on top of Rise with SAP. And this is, again, one example of a business process. If you scale this across all the business processes that you have in your organization, so you are going definitely to achieve the 3 goals I said at the beginning: improve the top line, improve the bottom line, and improve the sustainability level. So this is an example for that. And to do this type of things, as I said, we always need the brain. We always need the brain that can work and help me across the different stages of this journey, helping me in every stage what I need to do. And definitely there is nothing more important than application lifecycle management. And the good news that we give you, like I would call it, 3 ALM solutions supported by S/4HANA Cloud. And we actually recommend you to look for them what is fit best for your business. So the advantages of SAP Cloud ALM is that it is a cloud native SaaS solution. You don't need to provide hardware or pay for hardware scalers. And actually, you don't need even to care about the operation and maintenance of that. Second, with S/4HANA Cloud, SAP recommends always that you use ALM solution. because it provides not only the support you need during the implementation of your project, but even after, when you are up running, you have the operational functionality covered by that. With SAP, if you are adopting SAP Cloud Private Edition, you have more flexibility that can be offered either by SAP Cloud ALM or by SAP Solution Managers, where you can identify exactly what works well for your business and adopt this as part of your offering. My colleague Kay will talk about this in more detail in the second part of this presentation. But before I move there, again, I would like to take you to the next question in my poll, and let me take you there now. Just bear with me to activate this. So now the question is open. How important is business transformation for your organization? Please go to menti.com, use the code displayed in the screen here, and appreciate putting your answer for that. Thanks for answering this question. And let's move to the next one. And this is promised the last question for you. Use one word to describe RISE with SAP. I hope that you have learned something out of this part of the presentation, and you all have voted for the importance of the business transformation. So with menti.com, use the code here. Just put one word that can describe your understanding for RISE with SAP. So that's conclude my first part of the presentation. Thanks for listening. And now over to you, Kay, to continue with the second part of our session.
Thank you, Khaled. Welcome also from my side. So the second day of the ALM Summit. And since we are all at the ALM Summit at the moment, of course, it's important to understand what RISE with SAP is, but it's more also important for us to understand how to best do application lifecycle management for RISE with SAP. And this will be part of my presentation, of my part of this presentation. So we have seen this picture already on the slide from Khaled before. Basically, there are different options that you can do for the RISE with SAP. On the one hand side, you have to separate if it's implementation part of application lifecycle management or the operations part. And from the other point of view, it's also interesting to know if you go for the public S/4HANA Cloud version, or if you go to the private edition of SAP S/4HANA Cloud. And as you can see here on this slide, there are different recommendations for our customers today on which is the best solution for them. Let me briefly explain this. And with this, I also have to stress here, these are the recommendations for today. The reason why I explicitly say for 2021 is that SAP Cloud ALM is still getting enhanced very rapidly. So next year, this picture will probably look a bit different. But let's take a look at the individual details and start with the operations part, because for operations, it's clear, independent of which SAP S/4HANA solutions you use, the answer, the recommendation is always the same. It's SAP Cloud ALM that is our recommendation here. And let me briefly explain to you why this is the case. First of all, here on this picture, you see all the parts that are included in SAP Cloud ALM for operations already today. So there are different use cases for operations covered by SAP Cloud ALM, from business process monitoring down to integration exception monitoring, user and performance monitoring, job automation monitoring. This is all what you need to do for cloud environments if you want to run your business applications in there. Basically, the cloud version or the cloud environment has one significant difference compared to the on-premise versions, which you might know from the past. And this is that in the cloud, SAP is providing the system for you. And therefore, for Cloud ALM, we do not have we do not need such a deep dive system monitoring, but we just have health monitoring. So this is the main difference here between SAP Cloud ALM and the Solution Manager, which you might know from the past. So this is the functionality which is not really needed as much as for on-premise if you go to the cloud, regardless of if it's a public or the private cloud. And let's take a look about the coverage of the SAP Cloud ALM for operations, which is displayed here on this slide. And of course, on the one hand side, we do offer all this functionality in the SAP S/4HANA for the SAP S/4HANA Cloud versions. Basically, even this slide at the moment is not 100% correct, because regarding health monitoring, we now already have some functionality available for the SAP S/4HANA Cloud Private Edition. So this is all covered. And also, it might be cases where you do not only go 100% into the cloud, but also use on-premise ERP systems. And for those systems also, the functionality is available in SAP Cloud ALM. So even if you are in a hybrid environment, SAP Cloud ALM can support you with the operations part. And this is the recommendation from us, that we say to you, if you want to do the operations in such an environment, probably it's good for you to use SAP Cloud ALM for this, especially also with these advantages mentioned by Khaled earlier, available immediately. You do not need to provide any hardware or whatsoever for SAP Cloud ALM, and SAP takes care of the maintenance of the system. So a lot of benefits for you regarding the cost of operations of the SAP Cloud ALM compared to an on-premise solution. So this was very briefly the operations part, but as you know, there will be lots of presentations on all the details of these functionality. So I will not, in my about 30 minutes, explain all the details here, but just recommend to select the corresponding detailed presentation during this event. Now let's take a look at the implementation part. And for the implementation, it's significant to distinguish here between SAP S/4HANA Cloud and SAP S/4HANA Cloud Private Edition. So let's first start with the SAP S/4HANA Cloud public version, where we also say SAP Cloud ALM is our recommendation for customers that use these in combination with RISE for SAP. Basically, the SAP Cloud ALM for implementation takes care of the entire process for building up your implementation projects. So starting from the design, doing the fit to standard workshops to find out how your future business processes shall run, on the SAP S/4HANA cloud system. And then, of course, the configuration activities are required, test functionality is required, and you finally have to orchestrate all of this, bringing the new solution to the public, to the productive version that you can really do your business on the SAP S/4HANA cloud system. So this is the idea that SAP Cloud ALM drives you through this process. But it's important to mention here that SAP Cloud ALM is not doing everything on its own. Basically, we, on the one hand side, rely on the SAP Activate methodology to help you guide your project through this cycle. And the SAP Activate methodology provides a list of tasks that need to be executed in your S/4HANA cloud project. And here, of course, we have this methodology, but you need a tool that helps you to really find those activities that are really relevant for your project. So the scoping is important. You also want to keep track of which activities have been done already, what are the results of these activities. And this is all the part that SAP Cloud ALM does for you in running these projects. And so this is the important part on the one side. On the other side, you need tools that are required for executing these activities. And therefore, it's important to understand that SAP Cloud ALM connects with the tools that are available for S/4HANA Cloud to really do the activities. So we take in the design phase, for example, the SAP best practice content, which is available. We then do the scoping with the connection to the central business configuration of SAP S/4HANA Cloud. We have configuration extensions via the business technology platform, via the business API hub. This is all connected to SAP Cloud ALM. Also the test automation tool, which is part of S/4HANA Cloud, is connected to the SAP Cloud ALM, such that SAP Cloud ALM is some kind of a single source where you will find all the information of the different tools involved in the overall presentation. So this is the part for SAP S/4HANA Cloud. If we take a look at the SAP S/4HANA Cloud Private Edition, here we have not such a clear recommendation, because here we have two options which are available that might help you on your path to the SAP S/4HANA Cloud. And this is not only SAP Cloud ALM, but also the SAP Solution Manager. And the big question here is, of course, which of these options is best for you, for your project. And here it is required to compare these options in the different areas. So let's take a look at this slide. If we want to do a project management, we have to say here that the SAP Cloud ALM is really focusing on implementation projects, where SAP Solution Manager provides a complete IT project management. So if you want to do more than just the implementation projects, and then a Solution Manager would be the better solution. If you really just want to focus on your RISE project, then the SAP Cloud ALM might be sufficient for you. And also different scope of functionality in the explore and realize phase. You will find out details on this in the different detailed presentations during the summit. But let's just take the custom code lifecycle management as an example. So you might know SAP Solution Manager has a complete custom code lifecycle management functionality within the SAP Solution Manager, where SAP Cloud ALM does not provide own functionality here, but if you would go for SAP Cloud ALM project, then you can manage the custom code via the app available in the business technology platform. So here again, the approach of SAP Cloud ALM, doing not everything inside the ALM tool, but just connecting to functionality on the different areas. So just go through this list in your project. And the same is also true for the test functionality. Solution Manager provides here significant test functionality also with the already now available integration of Tricentis test automation, whereas the Cloud ALM has only interfaces, APIs for connecting to the cloud test tools, and the interfaces are available already. So the test automation within SAP S/4HANA Cloud can be connected to Cloud ALM for managing the test integration, and also the change and deploy part here. There are some differences. SAP Solution Manager provides the entire change request management, whereas Cloud ALM just provides the change control workflow. So you just have to find out what is required for you. Just a brief mentioning here, the different tools which we have depend on usage rights, which are included in the SAP Enterprise Support or the Enterprise Support Cloud editions. So SAP Solution Manager requires an on-premise support contract. And if you go for RISE with SAP, RISE with SAP only has the cloud edition of enterprise support. Therefore, it might be required that you need a solution manager functionality, but do not have corresponding usage rights. This is then covered with the option of enterprise cloud services. The solution manager for SAP S/4HANA Cloud is provided by SAP as well, but for this you have to pay additional fees. So to summarize our call, our presentation, just remind you on the one hand side, these different recommendations which we have for you, which is the right options for you. And this in combination with RISE with SAP. Khaled, let me give you the chance to also a brief summary of your part.
Yeah, thank you, Kerr. I think you summarize the benefits of cloud and LM and also our solution manager very well. But to summarize, I think RISE with SAP, powered by SAP Cloud Application Lifecycle Management, we offer our customer a set of benefits. One, you have only one contract with one responsible party covered with one SLA, which guarantee like 99.7% availability for the products. Second, next generation industry that comes from industry flavors and solutions included We also give you these 3 business networks, as I mentioned, Ariba networks and asset intelligence and logistics business network to collaborate with different stakeholders, the openness and modularity that comes as part of the flexibility of implementing RISE in phases. And all of that comes on top of the digital core from S/4HANA Cloud, either the public or private editions. You have your infrastructure of choice between 4 hyperscalers or SAP data centers with the process insights, discovery, Signavio. This is the best time for you to get a real in-depth picture of how your current business process performing and what is needed to build your to-be scenarios. With the technical tools, you can easily transform your business. And at the end, with the experience management, that's part of RISE offering also as one of the offerings that you can have it on top of RISE. You can not only capture your operational data, but also your experience data. So I think, and as you all quoted, thanks a lot for all your responses about being a smart offering, being the offering for transformation, being important offering. I do completely agree with you. And this is the time that businesses need such offering to transform their business to be always ahead to the curve. Thanks for listening to Kay and myself. Hopefully you have learned something out of our session today. And let's open the floor for questions.
Yeah, I saw, Khaled, you have already answered one question, but maybe I would like to repeat the question, probably because not everybody is following what happens in the Q&A area, and that's why. The question was from Nesat. How does step 2 would work for new customers? Will you provide process mining features for non-SAP systems? This was the question. So maybe you can get...
Yeah, I can repeat this answer again. Yeah, I think this, first of all, thanks, Nishat. It's really good question. Very, very good question. And then actually it means that you guys really understand what we have explained in the slides, because we do understand that we have 2 sets of customers. We have our new customer and we have existing customers. Definitely existing customer have an advantage because they have the old system and they have the old business processes, data and all of that. And with process insights can work on top of this data, analyze it and identify area for improvement for you, and you take it from there. While for the new names, we always see the starting point would be how to design their business process using Signavio Process Manager. And maybe we also show them the best practice on our best practice Explorer. This is together will give them, I would call, more focus on the maybe learning from the current business processes. So that would be the 2 different positions with regards to new names compared to the install base.
I just saw another question from Oliver. I think we have still some time to answer. Is Focus Build add-on support in the Solution Manager Cloud package? Question mark. Is it not available when Solution Manager runs in HEC, so in HANA Enterprise Cloud?
Yeah, let me take this question and provide an answer for this. So if this question refers to this offering, this priced offering of the Solution Manager for S/4HANA Cloud, which I mentioned on my last slide, this Solution Manager for SAP S/4HANA Cloud contains the focused build functionality as well. So it is included in there. If you have other HEC offerings, there are possibilities to take the focus build add-on in other HEC offerings, then it's not included by default in all of them. But you have the possibility, at least for some of them, to also add this add-on to the hosted Solution Manager system. So the answer is for the SAP Solution Manager for SAP S/4HANA Cloud. It's always included. And for the other options, it depends on which option you have chosen. So the usage rights for Focus Build are always also included in the enterprise support. So all of you can use, then the question is if the focus build functionality is included, the add-on included by default or not.
All right, many thanks. Because due to time reasons, I would really highlight our Meet the Expert session in the afternoon. If you check the event app, RISE with SAP is track 3. You are also happy to join this Meet the Expert session. Then we have also more time to answer all questions regarding RISE and further topics. For this, I would say we are good, and I'd like to thank you for listening and asking questions.
Yeah, thank you also from my side, and see you later today.
Thank you all. Enjoy the rest of the day.